That was Robin Thicke, T.I., and Pharrell. So of course, there's a lot of angst and anger. Consumer confidence is teetering. Is I think at now a 4-year low. I think consumer confidence is this way because so many things are erratic. You go from deporting people to telling people that you're going to, you want to make Greenland, you want to take over Greenland and Panama. You want to make Canada a state. Now, why Canada would want to be a state when their standard of living is virtually higher than ours, I don't know. Then you go to a man who is selling Teslas on the lawn of the White House. So I think people are rightfully worried. If you have no further than to look, you don't have to look any further than watching some of the town halls that the Republican congressmen are having and the anger there. But the thing that's funny about that anger, I think that when people conceptualize what DEI was, it looked different than it's playing out. Like, it looked different than it's playing out. Like, it covers so many things. As a matter of fact, the people you thought benefited from DEI the most are probably in 6th place when it comes to the actual beneficiaries. And I think that people are rightfully angry, but they only seem to be angry when it affects them. Like, veterans are angry because veterans, are losing jobs. Veterans are losing benefits. It is something that they invested in, something they believe in. Farmers are losing jobs because are angry because their livelihood is at stake. You have people who are federal employees. They are angry because they've been getting let go and getting emails and on the brink of losing their jobs and having jobs phased out. So everybody's only angry when it comes to something they like. They were only angry. They were all too willing to have that happen to somebody else, just not them. Like when they conceptualized DEI, they didn't think it would be white women and people who are of handicaps who are walking out. They didn't think that. They thought they would look different. When people thought that they would get rid of waste in the government, they didn't know that it would be them. When they thought that they would get rid of all these government programs like USAID, farmers didn't know it would be them. But they're only angry when it comes to what they care about. They were perfectly willing. When they say, I didn't vote for this, yes, you did. You just didn't vote for it to happen to you. You were perfectly fine with all the upheaval and all the anarchy as long as you were fine. And a lot of you thought it would be good. It'll be good to shake things up until you are one. But I noticed that everybody's only angry about the things that affect them, which is why they get to do it. If you want to affect change, you have to be angry about things that have nothing to do with you. You have to take fights that have nothing to do with you. You have to unite in front. You have to say, you know what? This is wrong no matter who does it. Like there's a young man who's on the verge of being put out the country because they didn't like a legal resident. He's a green card holder. He can be here. They didn't like what he said. Now, they call him a terrorist, but you can just call somebody a terrorist and not have to prove it at all. And freedom of speech means you're going to say things I don't like. I don't know what he said, but I do know in America he's supposed to have the right to say it. I heard Marco Rubio said, we don't want terrorists here. You pardoned 1,500 of them. You don't want terrorists here? What are the Proud Boys? What is the Klan? What are white nationalists? What are they? So you don't want terrorists with tans, but you don't mind terrorists when they're people that you can use. It's interesting. Everybody has their own vantage point, and they only care about the things that affect them, which is why there's such a fragmented approach. The only way that this works is that people care about things that don't matter to them. Because sure enough, when it's your turn to need help, nobody's going to be there for you. It's this famous quote. First they came for the socialists, and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I didn't speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I didn't speak out because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak for me. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is playing on right now. You're only concerned about self until no one is there to speak for you. That's a little note from the GED section. Got the Jazz Report coming up in 15 minutes. It's the D.L. Hughley Show.